Ever feel that shiver when a guitar riff slices through the air like a scythe through wheat, pulling you into a world where love laughs in the face of the grim Reaper himself? That's the magic of Blue Öyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper, a track that's haunted airwaves, horror flicks, and even your grandma's Halloween playlist for nearly half a century.
But hold on, before you start picturing hooded figures and midnight rituals, let's peel back the layers of this sonic enigma.
This isn't just a song. It's a roller coaster of mortality musings, misplaced myths, and enough cowbell to drive a producer mad. And trust me, by the end, you'll be questioning everything you thought you knew about death, love, and why the hell that percussion keeps clanging. Picture this. It's the early 70s, and Donald Rosa, better known as Buck Dharma, because why not give yourself a nickname that sounds like a cosmic cowboy, is staring down the barrel of his own fragility. At just 22 years old, Buck gets hit with a diagnosis of an irregular heart rhythm. Boom! Sudden awareness that life could cut out faster than a bad amp at a gig. He's lying there, heart pounding erratically, and instead of panicking, he starts pondering the big sleep. Not in a morbid woe-is-me way, but with this poetic twist, what if death isn't the end for love? What if it's just a door to eternity, where you and your soulmate keep the flame burning forever? That's the spark that ignited Don't Fear the Reaper. Buck grabs his guitar and starts crafting this haunting melody, layering in lyrics that feel like a whispered secret from beyond. Take the opening lines. All our times have come, here but now they're gone. It's like he's saying, hey, everyone's clock runs out eventually. Yours, mine, that guy at the bar nursing his third whiskey. But then he flips it. Seasons don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun, or the rain. We can be like they are. Origin-wise, this draws from nature's endless cycle, where death feeds life without all the drama. Buck wanted to remind us that fearing the inevitable is as pointless as a guitar solo without distortion. It's not about rushing toward the end, it's about embracing the flow, like waves crashing eternally. And oh, the misconceptions. People latched onto that Romeo and Juliet bit, Romeo and Juliet are together in eternity, and screamed suicide pact. Buck was appalled. We can be like they are, he sings, meaning their love outlasts the tragedy, not that you should chug poison for a dramatic exit. It's a nod to Shakespeare's star-crossed lovers reuniting beyond the grave, eternal and unbreakable. But no, critics twisted it into some dark endorsement of offing yourself for romance. Imagine Buck reading those reviews. Great, I write about transcendent love, and suddenly I'm the Pied Piper of doomed teens. If only he'd thrown in a disclaimer. Kids, don't try this at home. Eternity's not a DIY project. Now let's talk wordplay, because Buck's a sly one. That 40,000 men and women every day line? He pulled it as a rough guess for daily global deaths back then. Turns out it was way low, more like 140,000 folks checking out per day in '76. Buck underestimated mortality by a cool 100 grand. What if he'd nailed the number? The song might have been Don't Fear the Reaper, but do fear overpopulation. And the Reaper himself? In Buck's vision, he's not some skeletal villain. He's more like a chill escort service to the afterlife, whispering, "Come on, baby, take my hand." Origin of that phrase? Straight from Buck's fever dream of love conquering all, even the big D. It's romantic, not creepy, unless you're the type who gets spooked by Valentines with skulls. Fast forward to the band putting this beast together. Blue Öyster Cult wasn't always the laser show legends we know. They started as soft white Underbelly in '67, a bunch of Long Island college kids jamming in a communal house, dreaming of rock glory. Enter Sandy Pearlman, their manager, producer, and resident mad genius. Sandy renames them after a line from his poetry about an alien cult harvesting oysters. Yeah, you heard that right. The umlaut over the Ö? Pure flair, because nothing says heavy like borrowed German punctuation. Their logo? The alchemical symbol for lead, a sneaky pun on heavy metal. Buck and the boys, Eric Bloom on vocals, Albert Bouchard on drums and the rest, were building this mythic universe, part of Sandy's grand rock opera vision that never fully materialized. Think of it as the Star Wars of psychedelia, but with more cowbell and fewer lightsabers.
By '76, they're holed up in the studio for their fourth album, Agents of Fortune.
Buck brings in Reaper, and it's a game changer. The riff. That hypnotic, jangly guitar line Buck crafted on his Gibson SG, echoing the Byrds but with a darker edge. They record at the record plant in New York, with producers Murray Krugman, Sandy Pearlman, and David Lucas calling the shots. Shenanigans ensue when Lucas insists on overdubbing a cowbell throughout. Albert Bouchard grabs a timpani mallet, wraps the bell in gaffer tape to mute it, and clangs away. The band. Skeptical at first. "Do we really need this?" they grumble. But Lucas pushes. "Trust me, it'll tie the groove." Spoiler, it did. Without that persistent ding, the track might have faded into obscurity. Instead, it's the percussive heartbeat that keeps you locked in. Release day rolls around, and Agents of Fortune drops in May '76. The album's a mishmash, fortune-telling themes, a creepy cover with a magician and cards. But Reaper stands out like a sore thumb in a glove factory. Columbia Records pushes it as a single, edited down from the album's 5 minutes to a radio-friendly 3.5. Initial reception? Solid but not explosive. It climbs to number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100, their highest chart ever. In the UK, it sneaks in at number 16 in '78 after a re-release. But the real fun? The backlash. Religious groups cry occult, suicide advocates, wait no opponents, freak out. Buck fields endless questions. Is this about devil worship? Nope, just love and loss with a side of philosophy. Imagine the absurdity. What if the Reaper showed up at a BOC concert, cowbell in hand, demanding royalties? I came for souls, but stayed for the percussion. As the '70s fade, Don't Fear the Reaper ascends to mythic status. It infiltrates horror cinema like a virus, blaring in John Carpenter's Halloween as teens meet grisly ends, popping up in Scream for that meta-slasher vibe, even guiding ghosts in The Frighteners. Stephen King quotes it in The Stand, his apocalypse epic, and later blasts it in the miniseries. Why? The song's eerie calm mirrors the book's themes of inevitable doom and human resilience. Buck's Mortality musing becomes the soundtrack for end times dread. And pop culture. It explodes. The Simpsons parodies it, Rock Band lets you shred along, and covers pour in, from the Goo Goo Dolls punk sprint to Hymn's gothic twist. Sting even cops to ripping the riff for the Police's Message in a Bottle. Same rhythm, tweaked melody. "Thanks, Buck," he might have said, "for the blueprint to my yacht fund." But the pinnacle? That Saturday Night Live skit in 2000. More cowbell. Christopher Walken as a fictional producer, Bruce Dickinson obsessing over the bell, while Will Ferrell bangs away like a maniac. The band had no clue it was coming. Buck watches, jaw dropped, as it becomes a cultural phenomenon. More cowbell enters the lexicon, a punchline for overzealous anything. BOC embraces it. Hell, they even play along in concerts now. What if Walken actually produced it? We'd have a 10-minute cowbell solo and the Reaper fleeing in terror. Satirical swipe. In a world of auto-tuned pop, Reaper reminds us real rock needs guts, not filters. And that underestimated death toll? Today, it's around 150,000 daily. Buck's lowball makes the song ironically timeless, like underestimating how many times you'll hit replay. Legacy-wise, Don't Fear the Reaper is the gift that keeps on clanging. It sold millions, certified platinum, and cemented BOC as pioneers of brainy hard rock, blending mysticism with hooks that influenced everyone from Metallica's thrash epics to Iron Maiden's storytelling sagas. The band's still touring, Buck's riff echoing in arenas, proving love and rock really does conquer all. Obscure nugget. The band re-recorded it for their '94 album Cult Classics, a nod to fans craving that fresh polish. And the ripple effects? It sparked debates on death in pop culture, from existential playlists to therapy sessions. What if Buck never got that heart scare?
We'd be stuck fearing the Reaper without a killer anthem to ease the sting.
Weirdness abounds too. The band's early communal living, writing in basements, pitching ideas like a deranged family dinner, birthed this gem. Sandy's poetry wove in alchemical vibes, making Reaper feel like part of a larger occult tapestry that never fully unspooled.
And that logo?
A heavy metal symbol that's punked alchemists for decades. Absurd scenario. Imagine the Reaper as a band manager, scything through bad contracts. Come on, baby, don't fear the fine print. Or self-roast, BOC, the band so cult they named themselves after seafood aliens. Because nothing screams rock like bivalve conspiracies.
Wrapping this up, folks, if don't fear the Reaper teaches us anything, it's that love's the ultimate middle finger to mortality. So crank it up, let that cowbell rattle your bones, and remember, we're all just seasons in the wind.
If this tale of riffs, reapers, and ridiculous myths got you grinning or pondering, smash that like button, subscribe for more rock revelations that bite back, and drop a comment. What's your wildest Reaper memory? Until next time, don't fear the subscribe, embrace it. Bang.